Each fall, Delta Zeta chapters across the nation participate in I Have a Choice during the National Collegiate Alcohol Awareness Week.
I have a choice.
The purpose of I Have a Choice is to inspire sisters, fellow students, and other peers to examine their lifestyle choices regarding alcohol.
People don't realize it's a very preventable problem.
I have a choice.
It's a choice that someone makes to drink and get behind a wheel. So I think that I Have a Choice Week by Delta Zeta is very important because we're kind of trying to combat that stereotype.
Being on a college campus, like, drinking and driving is a thing, and it shouldn't be, but it is.
I have a choice.
I Have a Choice Week hits really close to home for me. When I lived in the Delta Zeta house my sophomore year, one of my very close friends, who actually was a student here at Western, decided to make the decision to get into a vehicle with someone who was drunk and decided to drive. Himself and 2 other students were killed in a drunk driving accident.
I know the effects that drunk driving can have on someone. My mom and I were actually driving and our car got totaled because we were T-boned by a drunk driver.
The Epsilon Omicron chapter would like to remind students that you and you alone are responsible for your drinking choices.
I had a family member when she was 16 years old. There were a couple of girls that invited her to go out into the woods and drink with a couple of guys. And when she went out, she thought she was just going out with friends, but it turns out they weren't her friends until all of a sudden she started vomiting everywhere, and she was out in the bathroom. When the ambulance arrived on scene, she was actually DOA, which is dead on arrival. It's like a miracle that she's even alive right now. People do get drugged when they get alcohol in their system, or that like alcohol isn't a drug, they think, but it actually does happen. And I think when they hear stories, it becomes more real.
I have a choice.
I remember getting the call from my friend Tony, and it was one of the most depressing things that I've had to deal with.
And I can't imagine our chapter with one less girl because of something that we could have helped and that we could have prevented, and that this week shows that we shouldn't do, because we need each and every single one of our members in our chapter, and I think it would devastate not only me but our entire chapter as a whole.
As president, just helping our girls realize how big of an issue this really is.
I want people to know that you can lose somebody that's so close to your heart and just the damage that it does to you.
I just remember coming back to the Delta Zeta house the next day, and I had a bunch of pink and green flowers laying in my room. I think that just really reminds me why this week is so important to our sisterhood. It definitely bonds us together, and we all hang out with each other, and it proves to us nationally and all other sororities in the world that we can hang out with each other and we can develop and strengthen our sisterhood and have fun without consuming alcohol. I think people think that in college and being in a sorority you have to consume alcohol to have fun, and that's exactly what this week is not about.
I have a choice.
Making a choice to stay sober, because everybody that I love here in this chapter is the best thing that's ever happened to me. They've made my life, they've made such an impact on my life, and I wouldn't want to do anything that would hurt them, and I wouldn't want them to do anything that would hurt me. And
this is so important for our chapter, especially because we have had an alum pass away in a drunk driving accident, and that is someone that affects people all over the world, and especially here because we are on a college campus. Colleges are known for things like partying and things like that, but we're here as Greek women to show that that's not what Greek life and college life in general is all about. So we're really here to be the role models, to show that we are here to higher our education, not only to just come join Greek life and be a part of one big party.
I think ultimately what our chapter wants people to know is that alcohol abuse is something that's very important. I think it's kind of skimmed over in college. People think that they don't need to talk about it because everyone parties, and that's the culture of college campuses, and that's normalcy. But binge drinking and drunk driving, that's not normalcy. It can lead to very bad things, and I'm just thankful that my chapter here at Western doesn't condone that kind of behavior, and we can have fun with each other without having alcohol involved, and overall it just strengthens our sisterhood and makes us better leaders on campus.
We have a choice.
But it's important to also know the risks of what happened and to be a leader on our campus throughout the Greek life system and just college students in general, to really stand out and be a voice to those students who are struggling or feel peer pressured into doing things that you don't have to do them. It really is your choice.
I have a choice.
I Have a Choice Week is really important to me because of the people that I've lost due to drinking. Unfortunately, what happened to one of our
our sisters.
It's a very big tragedy when you lose a sister. Unfortunately, we haven't had one in a long time since Amy Titus.
Amy Titus, she is a sister that exemplifies all the qualities we looked for in a sister. She was a Westernette. She was very involved on campus. She had a smile that literally could reach to people for miles.
This girl had put everything, her heart and soul into the sorority, and like there are still people that are looking out for her, and there are still people that are like putting everything they can to do everything they can for her to keep like her memory alive, because what had happened to her was just, it's not okay.
It is so important to remember who she is and why we do this week, especially in our chapter. And for me, because she lives so close to my house, I realize every single day that that could be any one of our sisters or anyone in the world today.
So I think honoring her memory and doing the Amy Titus 5K or I Have a Choice Week really helps us keep that trauma alive in a good way though. So we learn from it, we move on from it, and we can prevent it from happening again.
I have a choice.
Coming up on November 5th, myself and the rest of my sisters will be going to Amy Titus's home to interact with her parents. I know that I have gone the last 2 years and it's been a great experience. Last year, her parents let us read love letters that she had from her boyfriends and different things like that.
Keeping that close relationship with her parents helps them remember their daughter in the best possible way, and it kind of gives them that sense of mind that yes, my daughter was making a difference on campus. And Delta Zeta now in 2016, I like to think that we're making that same kind of difference, and we're trying to live up to her memory and make it as a good thing as possible.
I have a choice.
Even though that she passed away, her memory still lives on.
I have a choice.
I mean, I definitely feel proud. I'm proud to be Delta Zeta. I've definitely found a new love for it, especially during I Have a Choice Week.
You have a choice.
You know, college kids like to go out, they like to have fun. They don't really think about what happens when they go out and have fun.
While alcohol seems to be a part of the college culture, Delta Zetas here at WIU and across the nation are advocating for responsible drinking choices.
Like make sure that you are watching out for things that are happening. Like if you see someone that's getting in a car and you know that they've been drinking, like automatically stop them. Or if you see someone like making a drink for someone else and you see something happening, like dump that drink out. Like don't let someone else drink that. Like stop that from happening.
Making sure that you're not putting your life in danger, because you can lose your life and then that's it.
And I think educating our women specifically, we can spread that awareness around campus.
I have a choice.